Welcome back to Terpy, back with another weekly video for the channel. We're starting out this video right after ending the previous video where we ended off in the 6-light flower room downstairs, where we just switched the time schedule to flower. So that will be going into the flower stage right when the lights shut off. So we're going to start out up here in the grow tent room, give you a quick update on how the plants are doing since we cleaned them up last and reorganized all the plants into different sizes and also added some clones to this space. So here are the clones we added. They are showing some signs that we used to have, which is not good to see. And we do have some bug damage from when we brought them in from the outdoors. We have been spraying for bugs, so I don't think there's any more in here, but they did do some damage while they were being cloned. So we're just gonna keep an eye on that in this room. And after I do come into this room, I don't enter the 6-light room downstairs. So that's just a good overview of those ones. These ones aren't looking too good. They're pretty bare at this point, and they are still showing signs of the deficiency or whatever's holding these plants back. Unfortunate that this is still happening in this grow space, but you can tell that we have resolved some issues by adding the HEPA filter here and the air ionizer from Horty 25. Because we never were able to get plants this big before, they would die within 7-12 days. We are still showing some signs. People might say that's nutrient burn or light burn, but the light power is turned down to pretty low, and we're still seeing the signs happening. And nutrients are below a 3.0 EC, probably a 2.8 to 2.9. They are growing. We just are seeing the signs still continuing, but I'm cleaning them up as they go, so they are staying healthy and alive. We aren't seeing the purple stems like we usually do, so that is a good sign. This one is a little bit of green and purple, but for the most part, all the other plants are not turning purple. So just staying on top of watering in here. As you can see, we are mixing nutrients right now just to keep it fresh in our reservoir. And then we're gonna hit these plants that are dry, because there's just a few of them that dry out quite a bit faster than the others, because they are so much bigger than the smaller ones. So we'll get in here, water these plants by hand right now. Everyone asks about runoff. I take these plants and I go into the irrigation room or wet room around this corner, and that's where I water them so we can have heavy runoff and not have the bottoms of the tents or the floors soaking wet. There are some water buildup after I do water the plants, because they do drip out a little bit after watering when I do bring them back in here. That's why you see some yellow staining on the bottoms of the grow tents over here, but overall it stays clean for the way that we're watering right now. I do have table trays for these grow spaces. I just need to get the stands for them so we can design a drain system. But until then, this is what we're doing right now. Just a little bit tight on time and budget, having all 3 spaces and the cafe going all at once right now. Let's head over to the commercial facility and give you guys an update on there, because we did just get finished transplanting flower room 2 and finished getting all the drip emitters and stuff done over there. Okay, so we're over here in the 64-light flower room, but we are currently vegging our clones in here. It's been about 5 or 6 days since transplant. Just got in here and put all the drip emitters into the plants. So let's take a quick look at the plants, and I also did some topping. So here is slurricane. You can see right here, if I can focus, right there, I removed one of these fan leaves. This is my version of topping. Some other people do it also, like Grandmaster. You remove the top fan leaf that has a stem, and then you let the plant grow again, and then once this one has a stem also, you remove that. So every few days you come in here and remove the top fan leaf, and then eventually you have a perfectly flat canopy on all the plants, and it looks like the bottom branches are just as tall as the top of the plant. I found that's the best way of getting the most even plants. Sorry, the fans are on. I forgot to shut those off. Let me shut those off so you guys can hear me a little bit better while we do this portion of the video. I also just installed 2 Pulse Pros to add to the climate control and data collection for all the environmental needs. We got 1 Pulse Pro located in the center of the front of the room,
And then over there on the other side of the room, we have another Pulse Pro in the center of the room at the back wall. We can combine those two sensors with the Pinnacle system also. We do have one on this pole, environmental sensor, not a Pulse one, but a one that's connected to the Pinnacle system. So all three of those will give us nice average temperature of what's going on in the room. So as you can see, we did get the drip emitters done, and any holes that we're not using, we gave a black plug-in and removed the extra drip emitter. Every plant has 2 emitters now. Everything's looking really good in here. Nice and green, it's growing pretty fast. Overall, very happy with what's going on in here. Just going over the strains again, here's Alien OG. They are growing pretty quickly compared to the other strains, but everything's growing nice. I'm pretty happy with what's going on. Hope you guys enjoy this. Saw a lot of comments on the last video of people saying nothing's going right in Thailand. Yeah, you are right. The last 6 to 8 months has been very difficult over here for me, and we are getting up and running on all locations again with healthy plants. So that's a positive thing to see. Really don't like seeing all the negative comments and everything. Yes, I did have a great operation going on in Canada, but I want to take a risk and see what this opportunity could lead me in the future. So we took the risk, and obviously it's not going to go smoothly like any big operation, but we are working through all of that stuff that has gone on. This is just a step in the right direction of getting going again. Anyone new to the facility or new to the channel, this is one of 4 flower rooms that I have at this facility. The location that has the 6 light Flexstar grow room and the Vivo Sun grow tent room is a completely different building away from this location. These grow rooms are located in a brand new warehouse. This was not even constructed fully when we signed the lease for this location. But here we are a year later. I built this entire facility with a very small crew. Everything's being designed by me. Unfortunately, the quality of workmanship over here is just not up to the Canadian standards. So I wasn't aware of having to look over their shoulder every step of the way, no matter what was going on. So that was a big learning lesson, and definitely set us back time-wise on both the construction of this place and our first run of plants. Moving forward from that though, we have pretty much everything fixed and redone, or what needed to be changed up until this point. So flower room 2, I believe, is 100% right now. Now we're going to focus on making flower room 1 just as good as this room. Pretty happy. So again, we're doing half the room super booth, 3 tables of Slurricane, 1 table of Alien OG. These aren't my favorite strains to grow, but that's what is available for the amount of clones that we needed for this room. So that's what we're going to be using going forward. Once I get into my pheno hunt with all my seeds again, which will be coming in the next round in the grow tent room and the 6 light room, then we'll have some unique strains to bring to the Thailand market and to my cafe, along with the other shops that I will be supplying in the area. So let's move over to the Flexstar room and give you guys an update over there. Okay, so in here at the 6 light Flexstar grow room with our white runts on this table, and then we have a mix of 5 different strains on that side. We're on day 8 of flower. We're currently running the room at 80 degrees Fahrenheit to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on what the AC and electric heaters do. And we're trying to keep the relative humidity around 70% right now. We're doing a good job at that, but I'll give you the conditions inside the canopy. So 81 degrees Fahrenheit is the air temperature, and then 79% relative humidity. That is in the canopy at the bottom, just above the lights. We have 2 sensors on this side and 2 sensors on that side to give us our environmental conditions pretty much inside the canopy. We will have to improve that on our next run. I need to get like a 4-inch inline fan here with a plastic or film duct work that goes down the center of here to get some airflow inside the canopy, which will greatly improve the environmental conditions in there, so we can get the humidity a bit lower, just so it's completely even for the top of the canopy and the bottom now that we have the under canopy lights. That might change once we put on these lights. It might lower the humidity a bit down there, which will be able to improve our environment over there. But overall, very happy with what's going on in here. These plants are super happy and healthy, praying. Just finished watering the plants right now. I will pop up on the screen from our Pulse dashboard what the environmental conditions have been over the last few days, so you guys can get a quick look at both the graph on the Pulse and the data points that we have around the room, like the back two corners there. We have a Pulse Pro at the front. We have a THV sensor over here to really cover all the environmental conditions in here. I'm gonna stop this clip just because I need to drain the drain, since we don't have a tube connected right now. So it's just going over the floor, and I'll pick back up after that. So while I've been talking about the irrigation and the drain lines here, I am going to replace this fitting that they came with the trays. I don't like this setup. I did order a different style fitting that will go into the tray, and then we'll also be able to use a 3/4 inch hose to connect to our reservoir over there. Currently we have the 1/2 inch, which won't be big enough for this to drain properly. So right now I'm hand watering the plants along with hand draining the tables, which is pretty time consuming because I have to stay in here a little bit longer to wait for the runoff to finish from the tables to go into those, and then I empty it out, and then I'll have to mop up the floor, as you can see, because there's so much water on the ground. But back to the plants, we got white runts on this side. We got permanent marker, which is the 3 worst plants in the room. It's okay, they are bouncing back. They're just really slow compared to the rest of them. We got devil's cherries here, which is an amazing strain. I grew that at a different location. A few plants, I really like that one. We got lemonberry candy next. And the one after that is orange kush cake. Then we got mandarin cookies, and everywhere beyond that is rainbow fruits. This plant, I'll give you a quick update on this back one. I never ended up taking it out of the grow room. This one was pretty much dead. It was all yellow, and it bounced back over time, meaning we have 100% fixed all the issues in this space. If this plant survived, then we're doing really good in here. As you can see, the canopy is a little bit higher over there and shorter over here, just because the rainbow fruits were so behind on growing in the veg stage, so it took a little bit longer for them to get up. The canopy is obviously not as dense as the other areas like the white runts or the bigger plants at that side, but we are very happy with where this room has come over the last little bit. White runts is gonna knock it out of the park. Once I turn on those under canopy lighting on day 10, we will really see just how deep our canopy has become with full buds, and then come harvest time we'll see how even the canopy is from the bottom of the plants all the way to the top. Okay, so I've seen a few comments and got some DMs about the rooftop grow update, so just wanted to get up here to show you guys the status of its current condition and the plan for it going forward. Okay, so you guys can see that there's no plants up here anymore. Those plants that we originally put up here were just trial plants to see how plants would grow up here in the environment and conditions that we have over here. So you can see we've uprooted all the plants that were up here, and these are still filled with the cocoa. I did let the plants go into flower after turning off these LED bulb lights that were keeping them in veg, just to see what the plants would do. I wasn't feeding them at all, so they did run out of nutrients, but they did go into flower for 2 weeks or so and develop buds. I didn't see any pollen sacs, so no hermaphrodites in here. The autoflower seeds that we had over here didn't grow too much. There's just too much rain going on at the time. Rainy season is over now, so the plan going forward for up here is going to be doing an outdoor organic run, and then the entire harvest from up here will be going into ice water hash and rosin. So we'll do a monocrop up here of rainbow fruits, just because that's the best washer and extraction strain that I have available to me right now. So we'll do 55 plants. I think it's actually 54 clones up here to cover both this space and over there. All rainbow fruits. We'll keep them vegging for about 2 weeks or so until the plants get halfway up to the tops of the trellis or these tent poles, and then we'll turn off the lights so they can be flipped into flower. I don't think we'll have any situation with the overflow of light from the city, just because the angle of where all the lights come won't have any issues. I'm only concerned about the one light pole that's all the way over there that does cascade some light over here, but we will cross that road when it comes. We don't know if that will affect anything unless we actually try up here. So you guys will be following along to see how it goes up here. I'm pretty excited to get an outdoor grow run. It has been like 3 years plus since I've been able to do a outdoor run. Back in Canada, I was running 100 to 200 plants outdoor in a forest with not much maintenance, but it did provide some harvest throughout the year for good extraction on both ice water hash and rosin. If you guys watched my previous videos when we first started the channel, it was mainly focused on doing extraction with the ice water hash and rosin techniques. So I know a lot of you want to see an organic run on the channel, so this will accomplish that. Both the organic run and an outdoor run, both in the same scenario. So let me know your thoughts on what's going on up here and what you think the outcome will be. Okay, in here about an hour before lights go off, just want to give you guys a quick update on all the plants in here. You can see just how nice and healthy everything is. Lots of new growth. Everything here above is new. Goes for across the entire room. We currently have the room set at 80 degrees Fahrenheit and 70% relative humidity. We would like to see it up to 75, but unfortunately the two humidifiers, we got one over there and one right here, isn't quite enough to keep the humidity at 75 stable. The room starts to end up overcooling at some points and the humidity drops down to 65-ish. So before the lights go off, I'm gonna get in here and add a third humidifier here to make sure to see if that's enough. If that's not enough, we're gonna add a fourth one over there so we have one on each of the walls. We're only really needing the humidifiers for the early first 2 weeks of growth, and then after that there's enough humidity being produced from the plants to keep the levels to where we want them. So we'll add the third one there after I finish up this clip, and then see how that does over the next couple days. And then we'll really have to see it on the next run on the early stages. As soon as we transplant, that's when we see the difference. Since changing or getting the HVAC system or air ducting all completed, we're seeing amazing results in here. Very happy with how I can control the humidity and the temperatures in here. Plants are looking good. Everything's still praying, healthy growth. So I'm gonna get the humidifier done right now, and then once the lights shut off, I'm gonna spray the entire room with Athena IPM, which seems to be working, keeping these plants nice and healthy. And we are still feeding the plants 3.0 EC, like everybody in the comments on my previous video saying is way too high. These plants have been getting 3.0 directly from transplant. So that's the way you gotta do it with cocoa. You gotta charge the cocoa since there's no nutrients in there, and it will keep your plants healthy like this. If you have to run a lower EC, it means your environment's not ideal for your plants, because you can maximize the 3.0 EC when your entire environment is almost perfect. We have everything pretty stable across day and nights, no real big swings. We have the humidity dropping, I think at the maximum, a 6% swing. Relatively over the 24-hour time frame, it is only doing that about 3 or 4 times for like a few minutes. The rest of the time we're keeping it around a 2 or 3% swing. So this entire grow room is perfectly designed, I feel. And this run, we're gonna knock it out of the park. Got all the growing pains or the brand new facility all dealt with on the first run, I think. And since then, we've taken all the precautionary steps to get everything perfect. So I'll finish off the humidifier and then spray off the plants, and I'll give you the next update in here probably in a day or two. Quick update for you guys on the VivoSun grow tent room. This temporary grow tent frame and light will be getting removed out of here. We do have the entire grow tent set up from another location that I brought back over here. It's just downstairs in the storage room. We will be setting up that right here. So we'll have 3 identical 4x4 setups that will go here.
And then we have the 4x8 over here. You obviously notice that there's no plants in here right now. Quite a bit different from the last update I gave you guys in here. So what my thought pattern was for making this choice of having no plants in here right now is to finish out building out this room like I fully intended, and then bringing plants back in that are healthy to move forward from the position that we have been in, where some plants are surviving and some are dying off. We got a new batch of cocoa on the way. So if there was any issues with that cocoa, that will be removed from that situation altogether. You can see right here, we have 3 packages here and 2 over here. These are our grow stands for our trays. So we'll have tables in each of the tents, which are 30 centimeters, about 12 to 13 inches off the ground. We got our plastic trays here where we will connect them all and have drain lines so we can get heavy runoff without having to take the plants out of this grow space into the irrigation room behind this room, which made the labor intensive purposes of this room way too high. So having those table stands and trays set up to a drain system will speed up any tasks that we need to do in this place with watering the plants in general, or if we ever need to flush the plants. So that's a quick update on this space. We'll be upgrading the tables to have that. We'll have the under canopy lighting above the tables, obviously. And we have everything set up here with our electric heaters, our AC, our recirculation of the HEPA filter here, our air ionizer here. We got 2 CO2 controllers. We got a humidity controller, which is connected to the electric heater connected to this humidity controller. We have the 2 CO2 tanks. One is the main one, which will be set to our desired ppm level, and this one will be set to about 50 to 100 ppm lower. So if this tank ever runs out, this one takes over until my next visit. Then I switch the tanks over. That way we don't have any down period on any low ppm for the plants to fully maximize the space. We do have our irrigation pipes over there. That is enough setup and drip emitters for 3 4x4s, which is right here. And then we'll make another system for here that will be connected to our reservoir tanks over here. So not too much work needs to happen in here. Just set up the new grow tent or the replacement grow tent set up here. Get the drip emitters installed after we put the tables in here. Okay guys, so that's all the time I have for this week's video. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a little shorter than usual. I am going to try and make these videos longer as we get each room up and running. I think next week we'll get the grow tent room up and running. Hopefully if the clones arrive for that space along with the rooftop grow. If not, it will definitely be the week after that. Anyways, that's all the time I got for this week. Until next time, happy growing everyone, and remember to get out there and make it happen.